Well, hi. Um, I'm Ethel. We're here tonight for Held in Evidence. Thanks for coming along. Um, tonight we were hoping to get Katie to be with me, but Katie, if you were watching last night when we made the advertisement for this show today, uh, began complaining about having a rather serious virus, and she's not feeling well, so she's off in another room. She's trying to get well. Thanks for understanding. Um, Tonight, we're talking about a couple of things. Right. One of the things that we're talking about, we're going to continue a discussion. Well, not a discussion unless somebody calls, I guess, to discuss with me. But a talk that we've been doing about HIPAA, okay, which is the papers, excuse me, the people sign when you go into your physician's office. All right, you go into a clinic and you're signing papers, and they suddenly, you run across these documents that they want you to sign that can include various other things that, like your insurance. All right, you're signing who's going to take care of the, to payment for insurance and all of that. You're giving them all this information. You slip this little clause, okay, I guess you would call it a clause, inside, okay, which you may not be aware of. A lot of people aren't. And you just sign because, that's the process, right? You have to sign the paperwork, so you just sign it anyway, and without really reading it. And we were advising people last week, and we're going to continue to do that, to not sign those documents that have the HIPAA privacy clauses in them, okay, because they're not really for your protection, they're not for your privacy. All right, but we're going to go into that a little bit more tonight and the reasons for that. Okay, I did get some information off the internet. Okay, so for those of you that asked me to go back and to talk about this a little bit more, I do have a little bit more information. Okay, so, and I'm glad to do it. Thanks for asking. Secondly, we're going to talk a little bit tonight about post-traumatic stress. All right, and I'll be darned, a lot of people, when it comes to post-traumatic stress, I know a lot of people that like to talk about the issue. I got a request on that one too. So we're going to cover that just a little bit tonight. All right. Now, and before we go into any of this, I do have a couple of little things I'd like to say. All right. I've been getting some communications. All right, I believe they're coming in through my Google page, the one that's named after me. It's called Ethel Richard, okay, not the Bobby Sherman Miracle Reports Held in Evidence Google Plus page, but the other one, all right, Ethel Richard at Google Plus. And those messages have been a little bit strange. They're coming into my Skype, all right? And I'm going to be just very honest with everyone who's sending those messages. I don't mind that you send a message through to my Skype, but I will ask you to please be more clear in who you are. And also, give me good information that a person might want to respond to. All right. Tell me what's the purpose for you getting in touch with me. And, perhaps you'll get an answer. I will not answer any communications that are sent into my Skype that have absolutely no information with them, or, anybody that's, looking for a girlfriend, kind of strange. Don't send me invitations in the Skype. You're going to get blocked. All right. And anyone else sending any other strange communications, people over in, Africa that are trying to, send illegal money, keep it to yourself. Okay. All right. Just so that you know, okay, I'm up on that junk. I don't like scams, and please don't do that with the email, and don't do it with the Skype. Okay. Now, anyone who would like to legitimately get in touch with me and they have a good reason, you may send a message through as long as you've got good information in there that is actually verifiable. Okay, and with your email address. Okay, and I'll get back to you. If there's anyone who'd like to, you can also use the resource of my regular email, okay, for this site, which is the Bobby Sherman Miracle at gmail.com, and I do get my email. All right, so you'll have a good chance of getting an answer as long as you are making good sense okay, when you're writing to me. I do block everyone else. All right, so just so you know, don't waste your time. Okay. All right. Now, I wanted to get into this a little bit. I'm gonna just check one little thing. Okay. I don't mean to make everybody a little bit, wacky over there out in viewerland, but I want to check on something because I am supposed to have Skype phone. All right, which I have had a couple of people call me on the Skype phone here at the studio. And I'd like to make sure it's up and running the right way. I have asked one person to give me a call, right? And she knows who she is. It's not Katie, my granddaughter, no. But the number is 207-245-1000. So, and even if there's just anyone out there who wants to give me a call so I can test it, okay? Because we don't want to be having any more problems with that. We'd like for people to be able to call us. And I'm just going to run over there for a moment, if it's all right with you folks out there. I know I've kind of put you on hold for a minute, okay? And I'm in the middle of a broadcast, but I'd like to go see, make sure my Skype window is open to take calls. All right, so hang on there. Hang on there just one moment. And God bless you for doing it. Okay, now, you can probably still see me, but I can't see you at all because I'm playing around on my windows. Someone is trying to call me. Now, this is odd. New video message received. I wonder if that's actually someone who's... I wonder if that's the person calling me in the wrong way. Hang on, guys. Hang on. I'm going to find you back again. Let me see, who is this? Voice.
S.com. Automated notification. New video message received.
I have no clue who this is.
Install video player and...
Please don't do that to me, people. I don't take weird video calls either. Hang on. This is for regular phone service, okay? We're going to get through these bugs if it's the last thing we do. If you have a regular telephone and you'd like to call the studio, I'd love to take your call, all right? The telephone number is 207-245-1000, okay? All right, so everybody, forget the fact that it's Skype and just use your phone, all right? And you should be able to get through. You have to dial a 1 before you dial the number if you are out of state. This is a Maine, state of Maine telephone, okay? So, all right, now, well, I did get in there, so I don't think, we're not going to spend much time on this. Let's see if I can go back here just for a moment. All right. Miss Wojtowski, if you are trying to call, you need to use a regular telephone. Hang on now. I've got something coming. Hello?
Hello.
Hi. There you are.
Hi. Hi.
And how are you, Miss Wojtowski?
Good.
Am I saying your last
Very
name
good.
right?
Hold on, I gotta set this volume off. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Good.
Well, am I saying your last name right? I want to just about die right now because you're... Okay, everybody, let me let you in on a secret. This is my daughter, Katie. I can't say her last name. Wojtkowski?
You did already.
Wojtkowski? Can you tell us?
Wojtowski.
What is it?
Wojtowski.
Uh-huh.
Wojtowski.
Okay. All right. Catherine, so you were able to get in and you are on the air.
Hi.
Hi. Now, you did this through your regular phone. I want people to realize this is actually up and running. It's working. All they have to do is call.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Can you see me right now on your video screen?
It's time delayed, so no. I can, but it's behind, you know what I mean? So
No, but you can see my video.
I can see your video, yeah, I'm
You
watching
can-
it, but I had to
okay.
pause it because it's delayed and I would just get screwed up trying to talk.
Oh, that's all right. That's like regular TV. If you
Right.
if you happen to get lucky enough to get a phone call, okay, with Ellen DeGeneres, the same thing would happen. I mean, it's just
Right.
how it works, you know.
Right.
You know, so okay, so I'm really glad that you were able to get through, so we know it's running. Sometimes I worry that it isn't, you know. Okay.
No, it's working.
All right. Katie, do you have anything to say while you're on the air to all the viewers?
No, I'm good. Nothing.
Okay. Well, you know, it's
All
not
right.
time to chit chat about how the kids are doing, but I hope Jackson's
Yeah,
doing
no, I
better.
understand.
Okay. All right. Okay, Katie, thank you for helping me with that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, dear.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, now let's see if I can get you guys back on screen. There you are. That was my daughter. She's got two really beautiful young boys. Thank you. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about HIPAA. All right, and now that you folks know that the system is working, if you'd like to try to give me a call, I'd be happy to take your call if you have any questions or if you just feel like talking. Yeah, right. Thanks. HIPAA is a government program. Citizens Council for Health Freedom highlights real-life horror stories of the supposed privacy law. I got this online. You know, there's a lot of trouble. All right, at least there was. Okay, that I have a little trouble when I'm at my doctor's office, you know, because I refuse pretty much to sign it the way that HIPAA statements are written. They're very deceptive. And you know, but I haven't been refused services yet, you know, and I hope that doesn't happen because, you know, they're not supposed to refuse you services if you refuse to sign the HIPAA, you know, releases. And so, you know, that's why I'm here talking about this, because they have had many people, I guess, in the past that have been refused services because they didn't want to sign the HIPAA, you know, which basically, you know, signs away your rights, you know, your individual rights, so that these physicians' offices and clinics and whatnot can turn over all of your private information to certain other programs for various reasons. All right, which you may not even be aware of, and which can even, you know, your own records can be used against you in certain cases. I just want to run down the list of the problem. Right. This comes from that document I was just telling you about. See, there are situations that require patient authorization, okay, you know, which they want to get around all of this, you know, if we want to do this, such things, say if we wanted to, let's see, under the HIPAA privacy rule, your practice must obtain patient authorization to use the patient's protected health information for reasons other than routine treatment, payment, or healthcare operations. Okay, so if they want to be able to use your information, all right, and normally they wouldn't have any right to do it unless you sign an authorization, okay, over to them that they're allowed to do it. Okay, and the problem with the HIPAA authorizations that you're signing is that people aren't really told that that's what they're doing. Okay, so it's not really informed consent. Okay, to you know, allow them to have access to your private health information, right? And so it can get into all kinds of problems. Now they use, when you sign these papers, okay, they can use them basically, okay, and I have a list which I've looked up, all right, of the things that they can use it for without your knowledge, right? To disclose patient's health information about a patient to a third party, okay? They can do that for your life insurance underwriter, stuff like that, okay? Now, to market products, here's something people don't think about when they go into the doctor. To market products or services, all right, except if the marketing communication is face-to-face with the patient or it involves the provision of services of nominal value. Right. So in other words, they can, once you sign this paperwork, okay, which you may not be aware of, it helps them market things, okay, like drugs to other people and to you, okay, because they can use your private health information, right, to pile in with a bunch of other people's private health information, okay, and it gives them information on, oh, what kind of a drug can we most best probably sell, okay, next year or 6 months from now, okay, based on this survey that we just did of all these people's private health information, okay, which it can get that complicated, all right. Now, so it can be used, to market products or services. It can be used to raise funds for any entity other than the practice. Okay. So, people can actually probably buy your private health information. It's probably purchasable. It can be used to conduct research. Mm-hmm. Unless it says here, now this was geared at doctors. This was, and clinics and things of that nature. I got this off a website which tells you that you're not allowed to reproduce these. You can't put them in your website. You can't do anything, okay, with these other than maybe, read some of these statements off the paper, okay? You can take one copy for your personal use, that's it. And I suspect that's because they don't want people just, running around and showing everybody about these rules, okay? So I can't actually post this on my website for you guys to all view it, but I can read off the paper so that you can understand it a little better. So basically, this is telling you that there are situations which require a patient's authorization, okay, which normally they don't get, okay, unless this happens to be part of the slipped in through HIPPA. Okay, the other authorization that they don't want you to know about, that you're giving, you're signing away your rights to be able to keep your health information truly private so that they can do all these other things which are a bit underhanded. All right. So like I said, okay, to disclose patients' private health information about a patient to a third party, to market products or services, okay, to raise funds for any entity other than your practice, to conduct research, okay. You can use it, let's see, to disclose psychotherapy notes, okay. This was the other issue that I had been touching on last week, that if you have any information, okay, about your past psychiatric, health services, if you've been depressed or if you've had, a drinking problem or what have you, okay, that anything that you put in your documents that's considered private health information, okay, once you sign these documents, which have been put out into circulation by HIPAA, okay, through your health clinics and whatnot, you have released permission so that they can go and look at all your very private things, okay, for many various reasons, right? And one of these is to disclose psychotherapy notes unless disclosure is required for law enforcement purposes or legal mandates, oversight of the provider who created the notes, use by a coroner or medical examiner, or avoidance of a serious and imminent threat to health or safety. In other words, normally, they can figure out a way, okay, if they want to, use your private health information, okay, in order to, get you services that you might not think that you require, because, but it just makes it all that easier. If you're signing something like that, you're actually saying you gave them permission that they can take over, okay, for you and your health care. Even, like as if, okay, you have an advanced directive, only it's a sneaky one. Okay. So if something happens and they want to say, okay, we think that you need this help and we don't agree with you that you don't. So they can use that, okay, against you, and they can actually take care of you, okay, against your will. Okay. That's one of the sneaky little things that are involved here. And other than that, they can also use your information, okay, in order to go out there and do this kind of like underhanded research, okay, and get these policies in effect all over the United States. United States. It would be helpful if I could speak without falling on my words. But they can use your private information, okay, to pool it all together, all right, and to bring about certain things that they want to see, okay. They can manipulate persons' private information. I mean, it's not something new, right? Whenever there's a team of people out there doing research, okay, or all these various, looking over patient documents, that are like free roam, they become almost anonymous, because it doesn't matter whose name is on it, right? There's a million of them. They're all over the place, and people are going through these records and they're coming up with ideas and how they're going to market things to you and all these several things, and they want to see the patient's records, right? So that they can actually do these things and create programs and things that you would never even think of. What is your personal private health information being used for? Okay, it can be used for so many different things. And also it can be used, okay, as an advance directive, whether you realize it or not. Okay, you know how when you get older and in the event that I become incapacitated and right? Okay, and it's an advanced healthcare directive, right? It can be used similarly the same way, because the way it is worded, and this is true no matter what they want to tell you to the contrary, the way that they word these sheets that they're having you sign, okay, is giving them permission, okay, to treat you, all right, under all circumstances. All right. And I did run back to the doctor's office. I went back to the clinic and I told them that I'm talking about this, okay, on the show. And I also took a blank copy, all right, which I have in my files, in case I wanted to go back there and read that, that back to you again over the air. But basically, that is the essence of it. You need to be careful what you're signing with these HIPAA forms, because they do pretty much get rid of your privacy. You have no privacy once you have signed one of these forms. All right, and that is the issue. And so many people now tell folks, do not sign the HIPAA forms. Refuse to sign. All right. But I knew that before I knew it was HIPAA. Okay, I just read it, and I said, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. Okay, if I'm here for my diabetes, okay, because I need insulin, why am I signing to you a right to be able to treat me for, some kind of behavioral health syndrome that I don't have, or that I wouldn't agree to say that I had? Why is that included in here? Right? And, and they don't agree with you when you don't sign, and they want to make sure, that they also get witnesses that you didn't sign. Okay, just so that, just in case you come back on them and you say, hey, look, you have violated my rights to privacy. Okay, and why are you even asking me to sign this form? That's why there is there's an additional statement at the end of each one of these HIPAA type releases, okay, that if you refuse to sign, they want to know, when did you refuse to sign? Why did you refuse to sign? And they need a witness, okay, and an employee to be able to verify that, in fact, you did refuse to sign. All right. So, you need to be watching for these kinds of things, because programs like this are very sneaky. right? They're not coming out and telling you. When I go into the doctor's office, they're not saying, oh, gee, you know, please remember to sign your HIPAA sign so that, you know, statements so that we can share your private health information all over the country with various, you know, research agencies, you know, or so that if something happens to you in the long run and you need help from somebody, you know, that you don't know, you know, that we've got your signature so we can treat you, okay? And we can get the government money, okay? Just remember, okay, when you're signing papers, that they are not always honestly forthcoming, all right? And what, you know, the information that they give you, so that, you know, you really need to understand that the government is not always your friend, okay? And that's the way I see these forms, okay? These forms are an abomination, as my brother would say, caused by the Obama nation of Barack Obama, all right, and his programs, all right. You know, I'm sure, you know, they've been in the workings for years, but, you know, anything that has to do with this kind of thing, people need to take a second look at it and then don't sign. Know what you're doing, okay? Now, I do want to sorry about the dead space. I'm looking over all these papers. I just want to read off one of these in case you're doubting what I say. Okay, it's not just my, you know, or anybody's imagination that this is all going on. It truly is, and it's a sad situation. Okay, and it's a dangerous situation. So, yes, of course, I would like to see everyone improve in the matter of taking care of their own personal business without just blindly following whatever they tell you to do, all right? Because it's not healthy. Everybody needs to think about what they're doing, right? In order to protect your own self and to protect your family. I'm just going to read one or two of these, right? Because they're short, okay? I want you to see some of the things that can happen, that can go wrong. Now, this was in St. Paul, Minnesota. Now, it's talking about, it says, millions of patients scrawl their signature on that form whenever it is slid across the counter at the doctor's office, the dentist's office, or the hospital. It can even be as easy as clicking a signature at a sign-in kiosk before a procedure like a mammogram. Now, one patient advocate says Americans should think twice about absently signing the HIPAA form that's pushed on patients everywhere. Citizens Council for Health Freedom, a Minnesota-based national organization dedicated to preserving patient-centered health care and protecting patient and privacy rights, says that contrary to popular belief, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996 and its privacy rule is not a privacy protection at all. Okay, so if you guys would like to go and look this up, all right, I do have some things down, okay, on my Google Pages. I put some articles there. There was one I couldn't because it's considered too private. I'm not allowed to do it. But there's a lot of information there down in my Google Pages, and I would hope that you folks will go and research this subject because it's very important, okay, to your medical health care and your privacy, okay? Now, talking about post-traumatic stress, we might run over just a little bit, okay? Not too much. I'll give this 10 minutes. Okay, it's supposed to be a half an hour show, but you know, we're not perfect people, right? Everybody's got a problem, and my eyesight and the fact that I'm no good at seeing clocks anyway, or what the hell, right? Thank you. Post-traumatic stress. that's a subject we could go into, and it could take an hour or two, I hope you realize, folks, okay, that there are some shows that are very well scripted, okay, and there are news programs where they have 2 and 3 people, that come on and discuss things, and who knows, maybe, at some point in the future we'll have something like that too. But however, okay, I come out here, I am not scripted, all right, obviously. If it's not obvious, well, I can't help you. I really don't script these little appearances here on YouTube. I come out here without having, I just get a couple of papers, make a note, spend 5 or 10 minutes, okay, because I've, prior time, because I've dealt with these subjects my whole life. All right. I am probably a prime example, all right, of a person because I had been personally diagnosed back when I was a kid, falsely diagnosed, true, and then re-diagnosed later. I don't want to go into all the diagnoses, but if any person, okay, whoever should have been, if there were such a thing as a diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder, okay, I probably would have fallen into that category. And when I'm talking about post-traumatic stress, I don't like the word disorder, because in reality, post-traumatic stress is an event that occurs, all right, naturally to everyone after they have had a very serious, could be any kind of violent or traumatic, upsetting, just bad incident happened to them, right? Anyone, okay, no matter what their age, if they have been through a fire, right? If they have seen someone killed in front of them, right? If they have witnessed some form of terrible violence, if they have been raped, okay, the real stuff, okay, if they've been to war and they have, seen people, okay, that have been, mangled and hurt, and, who've been, so many terrible things happen to so many people, okay. I have worked with little kids, okay, families whose moms and dads have been killed in accidents, people who have lost their children, okay, through, killings and through terrible things, all right. I have known so many people, and I myself, okay, who have been in one way or another, okay, traumatized, all right, in such a severe way that it's very, very difficult to deal emotionally, okay, with your thinking and how your whole world can be kind of turned upside down because of something that's so horrible that you lose faith, okay. You can end up being just turned completely upside down by emotional pain after some horrible thing has happened that you have witnessed or lived through, okay. And tragedy is just everywhere on this planet, all right. So many people are harmed. It's not a disorder, all right, to feel the strong emotions, to do the thinking, to get through, okay, as best you can, in whatever way you can, the pain, all right, that you're going through. If you're having issues with a lot of sadness and fear, okay, if somebody has done something to you or someone you love, okay, that has really just turned your life upside down, okay, and that you find life very difficult to deal with, or that you find living around other people very hard, right? If you don't know how to talk with others because you believe that what happened is just too much, okay, that you can't handle it and you don't believe anyone else can understand, right? All of these things, they are not a disorder. They are a natural result of having been hurt. Okay? Right? Psychiatry has no cures whatsoever, okay, for persons who have been hurt, right? And the only real cure that you will find, all right, is through working through your own emotions and having some faith, okay, in yourself and in those around you, okay, to come together as people, all right, to learn how to care, to understand each other. As hard as it is, I had a friend a long time ago. He came back from Vietnam. He was in his early 20s. And he wouldn't cry. No. But he put his he just kind of like got rid of his emotions the best way that he knew how, which was very tough on him. He became a drug addict for a while, right? Some very bad drugs, LSD, things like that. That was years ago when he came back from Vietnam. And he had seen his entire platoon, right, destroyed in front of his eyes. He was the only survivor. This is not something that, everyday folks, okay, that have never been involved, okay, in war, right, are going to be able to relate to. All right. You got folks coming back from Iraq. Mm-hmm. You have folks that are, fighting, okay, even now they come back, right? They're dealing with things that you can't possibly imagine, all right? I have posted some things down in my, my Google pages, Glenn Beck, all right? You'll see them. You'll say, well, what's that doing here, right? Well, because, some things need to be seen, some things need to be understood, and some things need to be heard, all right? And the issues that are going on now with ISIS, okay, and all of these several, problems that we're having with these extremists, okay. I have my viewpoint, which I won't go into here at the moment, right? But these kinds of experiences, all right, the kind of violence that these people are responsible for, and the people that are coming back after viewing these things and after, having taken part in these things, they are just as normal, okay, as any other normal person. They have seen too much. They have been through too much, right? We need to show compassion for them. We do not do it by giving them drugs, okay? They may, definitely, they may feel like they want a sedative, there's certain things you can do, right, if you're having too tough a time. But the psychotropic drugs that they are doling out, all right, that the pharmaceutical companies are creating, okay, they only create damage in a person. They do not help a person to solve his personal problems. They do not help a person face the reality that this life can really stink, right? And it's good to be able to face the reality that there is such a thing, okay, as evil, all right, just as there is such a thing as goodness, right? There's such a thing as love. There's such a thing as hate. There's such a thing as living your life, okay, for yourself and your family and others, to be a good and caring human being, a humanitarian, someone who would never hurt anyone, someone who gets hurt, okay, because they see the evil. There's such a thing as evil in the world. It does not make us, okay, in any way disordered when we become upset by seeing these horrible things that are in the world, right? And the best thing we can do to help ourselves is to have good families who care about each other, right? So that when things like this happen, see, you can't, it's like when someone passes away, all right? You never forget the person, all right? It's very tough sometimes to get through the grief, all right? It's tough to face yourself, to face the facts. You know, we're on the earth, okay, and these things happen. And they're terrible. It's a horrible deal, okay? We all have to live through everyday life, okay, but we find the good things that are in everyday life too, all right? And we need our families. We need to be strong. This is America. We've always been there for each other, all right? We're not supposed to be drugging our citizens, okay, to put them out of their misery. That's not what it's all about. Okay, people don't need to be put out of their misery by dumbing them down with a drug, right? Especially these psychotropic drugs, which are very brain damaging in many cases, okay, and which can also cause other problems, all right? People like Adam Lanza, okay, who I believe it was shown after what had happened, that he had been on a lot of heavy psychotropic drugs, right? Now, and they create violence. These drugs that are given to people, they actually create problems, right? And so, you know, we need to take a step back and we need to think about what's good for the people, right? And really, there's no reason in the world why we should be drugging people when we can be being good people and caring about people, right? People do have serious problems in life. Sometimes they become so distraught emotionally, all right, that everybody else around them wants to say, oh, look at that, he's just sick, right? But let's not label people, okay, because we're all prone to this. We're all vulnerable. We could all end up in that same boat, right? And you and me, okay, are not any sicker, okay, than the other guy, right? Just, we need each other to work out our problems. Right? We need people to understand drugs create problems. They don't solve problems in the person's psyche. They don't solve problems. They don't cure any diseases. Drugs just simply cover up what needs to be expressed. Right? And, excuse me. I hope I'm not coming down with what Katie's got. Oh boy. Anyway, you know, drugs don't help us, okay, to express those things that we need to express to get over our problems so that we can become healthier people emotionally, okay? Going through it, that helps us. But we need people to help us, okay, to go through those things. When you have a little kid, okay, and he's coming home and he's crying because somebody picked on him at school, you don't say, oh, gee, poor dear, here, have a pill. Okay? You say, oh, gee, poor dear, come with me, we'll talk about it, okay? You want to cry? That's okay. You can cry. It's all right. It's normal, okay? Something goes wrong in life, go ahead, have a good cry, okay? All right, I'm gonna get off the air now, but listen, folks. I was talking to John. All right, I think it was a week ago. He said, "Give me maybe something like 3 weeks." So in a couple of weeks, he's probably coming back, and we'll see if he doesn't want to talk about some of this stuff, okay, that I've been going over in my shows over the past month. Okay, while he's been gone. Let's see if he might like to touch on some of these things, all right, when he comes back. And, you know, we still have to think about, you know, lots of other things happening, okay? There's a book being released. There's lots of stuff going on, okay, behind the scenes. Dave's cutting a new album soon, I hear. Lots of things going on. So, but I just want to, I just wanted to say to you guys out there, okay, hanging with us. Okay, the show is going to get better and better. All right, and once the weather, okay, gets less cold, and we're up here like on the Canadian border almost. It's freezing up here, okay, and it's snow and ice outside. Okay, even now, and probably will be for another few weeks. We're going to be able to get outside, with some of these shows in the future, okay, and go running around doing things, and and that'll be fun. Okay. And we'll probably go and visit, and talk to people outside, and down in the city and stuff like that. Okay. So we'll have lots of different things that we can do over the course of the next month or so. And we hope you'll keep sticking with us. I realize we probably went into almost an hour, okay, on the air today. All right. And I hope you guys hang out with me for a while. All right. Sure appreciate you being here. And sometime in the next, week or two, I'd like to see, little Katie get on with me. We call her little Katie because, she's not that little physically, but she's the younger Katie of the crew, if you know what I mean. Some of us got that, when we were little kids. Some of you guys out there, you get the same thing happening to you, do you? Where somebody was born after their namesake. Like I have an Auntie Ethel. Okay, well, Katie has an Auntie Katie. Right, so she's little Katie, just like I was little Ethel, right? Years ago. Okay, have a great one, guys. We love you. Okay, and we'll see you next week again. All right, for Held in Evidence here at the Bobby Sherman Miracle Channel. Right, and God bless you in everything you do, as long as it's something that you're doing that's good. Okay. God bless. Good night.